Hi there, Omaima. Nice to see that you sent us more essays. Let's take a look and see what you did in this particular set. Okay. This is about moving companies to regional locations. Here's what you wrote. Companies are encouraged by governments to move outside city centers and relocate in the outskirts. This essay will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this trend. Okay, fine. It's kind of brief, but okay, that's fine. It does what it's supposed to do. There are many benefits of businesses being outside the urban area. Firstly, industrial plants usually produce emissions which are harmful to people's health. Okay? Research has proved that those who live close to the industrial zones have a much higher risk of getting cancers. Locating factories away from residential areas can lower this risk. Okay, first of all, no S in cancer. Full stop, and then here I think a better choice would have been a semicolon, not just a comma. Excuse me. Or you could have made it just a full stop and made it its own sentence. I like the idea of a semicolon. I think that would be ideal, but either way, what you just shouldn't do is have a comma here. Okay, so secondly, in order to set up new buildings, comma, vast areas of land are needed. It's vast areas are needed. Let's see. What's happening here is it looks like you just keep using commas kind of just in place of any other sort of punctuation, and it's not working because some of these ideas, they can't be linked just with a comma. Look what's happening here. So, secondly, in order to set up new buildings, comma, vast areas of land are needed. Full stop. And then you need to link this better. So, for this purpose, rural areas are ideal because prices are cheaper and land is more available there. Okay, do you see what's happening? So what you did here is you essentially had, for example, point A, and then you skipped B and C and you went straight to D, but just with a comma here. So you can't do that. You needed to link the thoughts better. That's what I tried to do. Therefore, it is economic for factories to set up new workshops in remote areas. Lastly, local communities usually support the arrival of new businesses as they bring jobs. This local support can be beneficial for companies. Why? Okay? So, don't just say it can be beneficial, but actually tell me why. Develop it fully. Okay, so let's move on. Despite the numerous advantages, there are several disadvantages of moving the businesses and industries to regional areas. One of the prominent drawbacks is that industries and companies give employment to many people around the area. If they shift to a farther location, it will lead to unemployment in cities. Another disadvantage could be the decline in productivity due to lack of skilled, experienced workers. Those who work, careful, get rid of that work, in rural areas may be plentiful, but they may not be as skilled as those in urban areas. Furthermore, the infrastructure is sometimes less developed in businesses, which can create major problems for businesses. Okay, what do you mean? What kind of infrastructure? Go a step further and explain your ideas. If you don't, then it really just makes your paragraphs sound like a list. So, this is what you need to define. Okay, what infrastructure? Roads, hospitals. I mean, what are you referring to precisely here? Okay, so you need to explain that. In conclusion, while shifting companies from major cities to less developed locations could be beneficial economically and socially, some problems can arise, such as unemployment and less quality work. Okay, that's good. I like that you didn't spend too much time on your introduction and conclusion. Some people overwrite them, and that's not really beneficial. It's better to really work on developing your body paragraphs. So I thought it was good, but like I said, you needed to develop a little more. You need to say a little more about some of these things. Also you need to work on your punctuation a little bit and linking your ideas a little better. So those for me were the issues that you needed to deal with. Okay. Oh, this is the T one. Okay, I pretty much can see this with my eyes closed, so you didn't include it, but that's not a big deal. Let's see. The diagram represents the manufacture of 5 different types of tea. It is apparent that although they are produced from the same tea leaf F with an F, not VE, the difference in the manufacturing process results in 4 different types. The 5th one says the tea is produced from green, black, or oolong teas. Good. The first 4 types, white, green, oolong, and black, undergo the same first step in manufacturing, namely sorting and cleaning. Full stop. They also all end up in the same final stage, which is drying. Good. However, in between these 2 stages, different methods of production are employed. Excellent. To begin with, white tea is unique in that it is steamed and dried only with no further processing. In contrast, green, oolong, and black tea all have withering and rolling as part of the process. However, while green tea is steamed to get rid of the being before being rolled without fermentation, the other 2 teas are first rolled and then both fermented. Oolong only partially, but black tea completely. Excellent. I feel like you missed something here. There's some other way where black and oolong are different. But I can't remember. There's something about being rolled. You wrote rolled, and here you wrote rolled. But there's something also being like cut, and I can't really remember. Like I said, you didn't include the flow chart, but I felt there was some other difference there as well. Scented tea is different from the above 4 tea types. Okay, here again, you're not linking properly. So scented tea is different from the above 4 types as it is not produced directly from fresh tea leaves. Instead it is a result of drying either green, black, or oolong tea. This just becomes too long of a sentence. Full stop. Then it is scented with natural flavors and ends up with cooling. This is in contrast to the other 4 types, which have drying as the final step instead of being the primary one. Okay? I thought you did a good job. I liked the way you separated it. I liked a lot of the language here, but there were a couple of errors. Okay? Like I said, I felt like you left something out, although I didn't have the flow chart to refer to. But I thought in general it was a nice job. Most of your grammar was good. A lot of your vocabulary was great. Just a couple of little places where I thought it needed a bit of improvement. Okay? Now let's take a look at this other task 1. How people commute to New York. Okay, fine. This looks kind of short, although I'm pretty sure you're above 150 words. I don't need to do a word count. Let's see what you actually said. The chart illustrates the different ways that inhabitants of New York City, capital C in city, use different ways used to reach their workplace. Fine. Overall, it is clearly evident that the subway was the most preferable method, while taking a taxi was the least. Let's see. Taking the subway. Let me just double check your accuracy here. Yeah, it's true. Okay, good. Okay. Almost half of the population, 42%, okay, use the subway to reach work, making it the first in rank. All right, that's a little bit of a strange expression, first in rank, making it the most popular. That would have been fine. Followed by around half of this amount who prefer, all right, this is not a full sentence. All right, so you could have said, this is followed by around half of this amount, which prefer, no, I guess who is okay, who prefer to go by personal vehicles. Okay, or how else could you have said this? You could have said, following this, comma, around half of this amount prefer to go by personal vehicles. So you had a couple of different choices here to make this grammatically accurate. Buses and walking share the third. You keep saying rank. Maybe you could have changed this and said position, or the third highest preference, or the third most popularity, maybe. Something like that would have been good. And so buses and walking share the third highest position, and have, okay, because it's 2 things, have lower percentages of 13 and 11% respectively, whereas a very small, and don't talk about amount, talk about percentages or figures or proportions, because it's percentages we're dealing with here. So whereas a very small proportion of residents use carpooling, as well as a negligible figure for taxis. Okay, you didn't tell us what that figure is, but we can kind of assume, so that's all right. Interestingly, the percentage of people who take the subway is similar to that of driving, taking the bus, walking, and carpool combined. Also, driving was equal to both walking and taking the bus together. Finally, taxis and carpooling proved to be the least popular method, in contrast to the general transportation system manifested in both subways and buses. Lovely. Okay, so a lot of good stuff happening here. I liked a lot of it. Again, really, Omaima, we're just looking at details here to make this really a high-scoring answer. I liked a lot of what you did, so you're doing really well. You tried to extend it. I like what you did here, making these comparisons. That was a smart thing to do, because obviously you don't really have a lot to work with here. Okay, so you made these comparisons, and I thought that was a very, very, very good thing to do. So you've done well. You also talked about them in terms of public transportation versus private transportation, taking the bus, taking the subway. I thought all of that was good. So you've done a nice job. Good work. Let's see them corrected. Let's see you. Do you have any more with us? I think this is probably your last set, is it not? Maybe I'm wrong. I will have to take a look at your email. But it looks like it is the last set. If you are interested in continuing to work with us for any more essays, do let us know. Send us an email so we can get you another set to work on, okay? So you can keep practicing. I don't remember if you've told us when your exam is, but do keep us updated. Let us know what's going on so that we can together find the best way to help you and help you reach those IELTS goals that you've got, okay? So good luck, and let us know how you would like to proceed.